இப்போ இது பண்ணுறது. ஓகே. இப்போ வருது ஜாயின் மீல.
You can actually use some code snippets. So these guys, they have like pretty standard code which you can probably reuse in the news. Payment gateway, payment receipt. Step wizards. Usually only they have both CSS, HTML and all that stuff. Just probably have to use them. Try to reuse the freely available code as much as possible. Actually reduce it. And that's for the software industry. The rejoin?
Yeah, I'm done.
Able to see my screen?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Okay. I guess I think Mitul might have given you a walkthrough earlier. So this just to go through the code again quickly so that just to refresh what you saw earlier. So basically we are using Pyramid framework for Python, MongoDB as the backend. Okay. For HTML templating we use something called Jinja tool. And jQuery, HTML5 as usual, CSS3, and Bootstrap for the layouts. So this is going to be probably the front end part. Okay. Right. So how Pyramid works? So you guys have you guys studied about servers? Yes. So you actually refer to a particular server class, you create a mapping between the URL and the server class we invoke for a particular URL.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just asking you, but you guys are aware of how the servers work? Okay, fine. Okay. So basically what we do in, I think whenever you deploy the servlets and gateways in a web container framework, so what you specify the URL mapping. So you specify this URL. If the server encounters this URL, we invoke this particular server. So we create a mapping between the URL and the server. So with Pyramid, we create a mapping between the URL and the context and the view. So view is basically what renders on your page. The context is basically a middleman kind of object, so which actually talks between the URL and the view. Okay, so the starting point of this particular project will be the init.py, which is under ECZ. Yeah. Okay. So the init.py whenever you have this particular init._py, it means that it makes this particular directory a Python module. So if you want to directly the init.py, it will become a Python module. So this is the starting point. So number main method yeah. So this is the starting point. So whenever you start the application, this is where the first control flow goes. Right? So in the application start பண்ணப்போ you specify win/serve and then you specify the INI file, development of INI, right? So that particular file is actually passed by e-service server, just like Tomcat or any other server that you have. Okay? So it actually passes an INI file. The INI file is nothing but this particular file. Okay.
Wait, just to interrupt, just 1 second, guys. In case the screen record doesn't work, you please note down whatever Ajay is saying, and you please have to explain to Mithun and to Shakti. Okay? In case this screen thing doesn't work. Sorry. Please continue.
Okay. So so you pass the INI file also. So this CServe, what it does is it passes this INI file and it creates a dictionary kind of object. So what is a dictionary? It's a key value object. So you have a key and a corresponding value for a particular key. So what this particular left hand part of this expression will become the key and right hand part will become the value. So the entire INI file is passed in as parameters of this key. Okay. So you can all ignore this. There is a kind of little bit of complex of I think probably you can get to that. So this is about session factory. So we specify what kind of session we need. So these are actually kind of pyramid based. So you can probably take a look at this. Probably I think Mithul might be interested. So pyramid speaker. Session plus caching management pyramid. Okay. So this is how they specify and this takes the session time. All those. So Jinja is more like a templating language. Have you guys heard about Apache Velocity or Java? So these are basically more like a templating language. I'll just show you an example. What it is. So you might have used JSP. Right? Yeah. So JSP is nothing but you generate HTML on the server side, right? And you send it across. It's almost similar to that. So we just create a template and we load the values of missing variables on the runtime from the server end and then we pass it. Okay? So this is how the settings get passed. It's a dictionary object. You have a key value pair. So these are all methods from the pyramid framework which takes care of getting the session factory, authentication policy, and all that stuff. So you can probably ignore that. So the main method, the other thing you have to think note down is this configurator object. So this configurator object is what reads the INI file settings and it creates a okay. And to this configuration of object, you pass other parameters. If you want to serve the static aside, static in terms of JavaScript files, CSS files, any image files, those are referred to as static files. Right? So we just specify the path, like where are the static files located. So we say that EasyZ web /static. So what it does, it goes to EasyZ web and static. So this is the parent container for all the static files. Any JS file, CSS file, image file, font file, all the things goes to the static folder. Okay. And it's okay with what? This you guys might know about this robo.txt. actually allows your the search engine bot. It tells the search engine bot which part of which link or which part of the site you are allowing it to pass. You just go to google.com robots.txt. You will find this kind of a file. It says okay, do not, if any search engine bot hits this particular thing, to pass this search thing. It allows the search engine to pass about catalogs scene all that stuff. So just it tells like what links to pass, what links not to pass. So it's more related to the search engine optimization. So that is the robot.txt file. Okay, and now we add other extensions, other anything else that we need to add to our application. So here we include a library called pyramid underscore ninja 2, so which actually forms a bridge between pyramid framework and the ninja 2 framework. Okay, and these are certain extensions, so you can just ignore this for now. This is called a JSON feed 100. Are you guys aware of how JSON feed operates? You might have heard about JSON.
Yeah.
Right? So JSON feed is something which it's more like massive padding to the JSON feed. I think you can just ignore that for now. What it actually means is, say, for example, whenever you try to make a cross-domain request or a cross-domain form post, you would actually face a lot of issues because of this same or this policy. That is, you can't post from one form. If I'm having www.example.com, I can't post into a different domain. So I can't post into www.something.com. So it's actually disallowed. So to overcome that, there are certain ways that you do. So one of that is CQRS, and there are other ways also. For that we use something called JSON. So this is nothing but it actually attaches a callback function. So you make a jQuery or JavaScript Ajax call, and you attach a callback function. So once the server returns, this callback function gets triggered. For now, I think you can just ignore that for now. Okay. Right. The other important point here is we have another render called .html, which is actually this factory takes care of doing something. I'll just come back to this point. Okay. And now this configurator or scan happens, and this is the configurator dot make WSA app. This call goes through. Okay. So this actually returns as the application object. So this is what loads our application on the browser. Okay. Right. So if you see the structure of structured application, so we have a module called pages, which will have the different pages for our particular site. Okay. So basically, I think it's best if we have something similar to scope for each and every page, but I think it will make the project very big. So, and I didn't want to confuse you guys. I mean, I just wanted to have a single place that you can go identify what pages are there, what links are there. So I have combined everything into context of one file. Okay. And there is another file called views.py, which contains the views. Okay. And forms, I think you can ignore these forms. You can directly design the HTML5 itself. For forms, we have something called WP forms. This is a package that we use, but you can just ignore it for now. You can can directly design this prompt via HTML as well, and we'll hand it to the backend. Okay. Right. So coming back to context. So what are context? What are views? So if you see this context.py, so whenever you want to add a new page, what you do is you make a statement like you just you add particular piece of code, something like this, so which will have the path. So this is the path. Okay. And this is the context which is attached to the particular path. Okay. So whenever on the browser URL I hit /contact, this context object is a reference for it. Okay. And now you'll think, okay, when I hit this URL, how does that particular view show? So if you search for this contact as context in
ఆరోగ్యంలో
this
இன்னும் కొంచెం
kind
ఐస్
of
తండ్రి
structure where we define like new context, specify a context as context and a renderer. So this is actually pyramid syntax, so which predominantly you'll be using across. So you can just copy these two lines whenever you create a new view. This is called decorator. This particular syntax adds symbols and something is called decorator. This is something similar to the annotations that you have in Java. So if you want to add a new page, first what you do is you define the page path, okay, which actually is you create a mapping between the URL and a context object. Okay. Second thing is you write a view function or a view method with add view underscore config decorator, which will take in a context object
இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஐஸ்
and a renderer.
கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப இல்லை இதனால தான் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஐஸ்ன்னு சொன்னேன்
Okay. So let me just take the example of this contact test page. Okay. When the application starts, I told you that the main method gets invoked first, and these are the following steps that happen, and you find a method called scan. Yeah. So in the scan end of one, it will actually scan through the modules, okay, and it identifies the piece of code which has this particular pattern assigned to it. All the py files with add view underscore config decorator attached to it actually passes that. Okay, and what it will do, a mapping between the context object and the function. அதாவது இந்த context object it just create a mapping. I mean, just to give an idea how it just creates a mapping like in the context இது வந்துச்சுன்னா இந்த method invoke பண்ண அப்படின்ட்டு. Just tell you that okay, if this context object is asked on, you just execute this particular method. The same context for lot of methods. So you have to have kind of one context object for one single. Okay, so என்ன ஆகும்னா when you hit that URL,
போ
when you hit context URL, it identifies that okay, the context that I need to refer to is contact as context, and on the application startup there is a map which is created which says that for contact as object execute this one. So when you hit contact via this contactless context, it will execute this particular method. Okay, wow. So in the method when this executes, you will have a template. This is the Jinja template I was talking about. HTML file. This doesn't have much on the template to show, but yeah, I can show it here. The base thing. இதெல்லாம் பார்க்குறேன் இல்லையா, you are seeing this title tag. Yeah. அதே மாதிரி you can see this theme underscore name. இந்த மாதிரி கொடுத்தா these are expressions. So the values for this comes from the backend code. அதை வந்து இப்போ ஃப்ரண்ட் எண்டில் வந்து we are just trying to resolve it. அதுதான் வந்து இந்த டெம்ப்ளேட்டிங் லாங்குவேஜ் பண்ணுறோம். PHP யூஸ் பண்ணிருப்பீங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ PHPயில் வந்து அந்த வேரியபிள் எப்படி ரெஃபர் பண்ணுவீங்க? want to refer to a particular object on the HTML file. Right. It's almost similar. We have this. So this is the object that you refer, and this is directly referred to. So in the want to add a new page, the code is there. Register page mark is there. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து இந்த கான்டாக்ட் கிளாஸ் ஒன்று இருக்குது. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து யூ ரைட் a new function with this particular data. So this is for creating a new page. Right? The HTML level you will have your HTML. So it is clear till now. There doubt in the clear. So the home page or the code along just move the directly to the module called home. So the entire thing for the this version under home directory, home module. Okay. So with templates, let's take home .html. இதெல்லாம் தெரியுது இல்லையா? all the HTML is home.html file. So whenever if you want to add a new HTML file, what we have to do is you have to do instance base container. I think I had a sample. So if you want to add a new HTML file, right, you just copy this default HTML. சரியா? Page underscore template underscore directory சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு மாடியூல் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ இந்த மாடியூலில் வந்து you can pick up the default.html file or the context file எப்படி எழுதணும். So actually you can use this to replicate your thing. So if you see whenever you write a new HTML file, it should be the base structure. Okay, and your code will get into this block called container block. நீங்க இன்ஹெரிட்டன்ஸ் பத்தி படிச்சிருப்பீங்க இல்லையா? ஓம் கான்செப்ட். Yes. So you guys are aware of how to the same concept applies to this templating language also. So what we are doing is we are extending from this base container, and if you observe the base container has this is the key main object, main HTML thing. So where we define the head tags, the title tags, script tags, body tags, and all the stuff. And in between we have something called navigation. Blocks. So So these blocks are the are piece of code which you can override in your child HTML file. Or block name underscore header, you can override this piece of code for that particular HTML file, right? So அதுதான் வந்து இந்த எக்ஸ்டெண்டோட ஸோ இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து I'm just trying to override a block called container. So we see what this base container has. So we have an empty block here. So whatever piece of code that you write within this container block will actually be placed within this.
EB, can you hear us now? EB, நடுவில் ஒரு மெசேஜ் அனுப்பிச்சா ஒன்றும் கேட்க முடியல என்ன?
Hello, EB.
EB, EB, can you hear my voice? Just tell him to wait, man. EB, I'm hanging up. Hello? Hello? இல்லை அவன் திருப்பியும் போயிட்டான். அவனை திருப்பியும் கூப்பிடுறேன். மித்துல், you can hear, no? How's your special class coming along, your crash course? What is it about?
It's an implant training actually.
Oh,
They stated a lot of topics. I'm not sure how they're going to complete all of that.
fair enough. What the fuck, man? What happened to this EB? EB! ஹலோ மேடா வேணும். ஐயோ சாமி. எது எது எல்லாத்தையுமே டிஸ்கனெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஹலோ.
ஹலோ.
ஆ
இப்போ கேக்குது.
கேட்குதுல்ல? ஓகே பர்ஃபெக்ட்.
It's almost similar to your own concept where you extend the parent class and then you override it. So, இதில் வந்து whenever the base container அப்படின்னா So the entire structure will be intact. So for home page, whatever HTML file, HTML you write will be within this block. Rather, whatever you in home, I extend this base container and I add a block container, which means that the base directory in the block container will be overrun with the value from this snippet. Okay, so the home over HTML I will not be writing the entire full HTML thing. Right? You won't be having head tags, body tags, and all of that for each and every HTML page I write. So I just have to worry about what needs to be shown within this container. Right? இந்த கண்டெய்னர் மட்டும் தான் எனக்கு தேவை. இது மட்டும் தான் சேஞ்ச் ஆக போகுது எப்பவுமே. இல்லையா? In any page, because the footer is going to stay the same, the header is going to stay the same. Only this particular block, the entire block is going to change. This is what we do. So what I have done is the base container, this will be present, this will be present. This particular block is the empty container block. So whenever the home page loads, the home page.html, this particular code, home wrapper, all the stuff, this actually gets inserted within that container block. So this particular piece is what gets added from the home.html. The rest all will be from the base container.html. So when I load a different page, if I go to a different page, I'll be only changing the content of this particular block. So if you see the about.html, will be like these are like partial HTML pages. This is partial HTML page. Only the piece that you want, only the piece of HTML that you want to show within this particular block, you write the piece of HTML file. Right? You don't, whenever you write add a new HTML, you don't need to add all those text tags, type tags, body tags, all those stuff. You just have to write a piece of thing, show up on the page. The header is taken care, the footer is taken care, and the rest of the skeleton is taken care. You just have to worry about the logic that you want to show, the UI that you want to show within these two blocks, the inner block and the inner block, whatever you want to show, what you write in the HTML. Okay, so things to remember here, you have to extend the base container, you have to write the block that you want to overwrite with base block container, and you have the HTML code within that. So அதே மாதிரி வந்து the base container has other blocks also. So whatever you want, you can overwrite. So on some cases you want, so the model பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து these are the model pop-ups that show on the website. Be it login model, remove the login model, right? In the model இருக்கட்டும், it's a model dialog. When you click on privacy, it's again a model dialog. When you click on the default cancel, it's again a model dialog. So all this model dialog and grouping under this block called model. Maybe you might go to a page where you don't require this model. That is that HTML file, you just say, suppose I don't want this model to show up on my home page. So what I do is I just say block model. I'm just overriding it without any HTML. So nothing gets rendered. So nothing would get rendered on the home page. Model would show up on the home page. Right. So suppose you want to use the parent HTML, and along with that you have your own logic also. So what you do, you call the super. You call super, you load the HTML from the parent HTML file, that is the base container, under this block. Around if we have this kind of stack, insert all these things. So it is actually insert this particular thing. And if they want to just add any other tags also, it also add along with the parent. So you're just basically trying to inherit or call the super method of the parent, and then you have your own independent pattern. Very straightforward inheritance that you might have learned in your moving chapter. Is this part clear? Is this concept about blocks clear? Right. So HTML, so if you want to write a new page, so you don't have to worry, write the entire thing. You just have to extend the base container, add a block. So basically it will be the container block and you write your HTML with it. Okay? As simple as that. So அதே மாதிரி வந்து இதுல வந்து there is a concept called macro. Macro வந்து if you have a piece of code which is repeating across pages, you can, or if you are having a piece of code which is like duplicate, we need to avoid duplication of code. So we convert that part into a macro and we use the macro within our code base. So the macros எல்லாமே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து will be available within web template macro and computer HTML or macro. So if you do an example, you find this kind of statement here on the base container. Okay, yeah. So this is a macro. Macro now or method C++ C macros we heard about those, right? It's almost similar to that. So when you invoke this particular method, so the base pop-up, otherwise what would happen is you end up writing the same piece of code for each of these. So to avoid that duplication, we have this macro. So if you see the common HTML, we have defined the macro for base pop-up. See this? So either on the piece of code, the modern dialog, bootstrap or the modern dialog or a code. Straightforward code. Stolen from the website. The code to have a model. So what I've done, I have created a macro and added the HTML code there. So whenever I need a macro, whenever I need a model pop-up, I just have to call this base pop-up and my model dialog will get. So I will pass the macro concept. So I will pass the macro. Okay.
One question.
Yeah.
What is the difference between the curly braces, percentage, item, and just curly braces and percentage?
Okay. So if you have this hyphen, you can remove any white spaces.
Okay.
For example, we look at this also, I can show a very good example. See the view source. The lot of places you will find lot of empty white spaces. Right? So you see there is no white space. So probably just take a look at this particular thing. It's called page container. Okay. So this is present under page container or HTML. இருக்கா?
It's so early.
You see this block? It's a tag. So இங்க வந்து I have not given any hyphen. So அதனால வந்து actually it's just a white space. It's actually just a white space. So had I given something like this, it would actually remove the white space from the end of the previous tag. There will be no white space.
Okay.
From here to here. So when I use this, there will be no white space from just like remove the white space. Right. So EB, now I'm actually going to say this is pretty much overall like what you are going to do with right HTML. Now I'm coming to the way how to translate JS. So here we use something called this, which actually comes in along with the bootstrap framework. Okay. So right. So in the row அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து call hyphen on hyphen 2 இதெல்லாமே வந்து பார்த்து. So நீ bootstrap யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கா EV? Have you used bootstrap on here?
Yeah.
We use bootstrap 3, so the bootstrap 3 ஓட தான் இங்க. Okay. Right. நம்ம JS file எல்லாமே வந்து static JS குள்ள. Okay. அதே மாதிரி இந்த லெஸ் ஃபைல் CSS பார்ட் எல்லாமே வந்து ஸ்டாட்டிக் லெஸ்ல இருக்கு. Right. So less is almost similar to CSS. You don't have to worry much. It's almost similar to CSS. Just that it gives you a object orientedness to that part. So for example, I can define something like this, and I can use this class across. Where I just have to change the family size and all of that. It's just from easy development. It helps you in easy development. So in the part now, you see this dot dt bar render image. Like that. So this is nothing but in the your CSS styles. The blue background, other CSS styles. So wherever I need that particular styling, I can directly call this particular class. So I think you can just go to the left document. They have a better description of how to use that sort of thing that you don't have to spend much time there. The பாக்கி எல்லாமே வந்து it's basic CSS. இன்னும் basic CSS எல்லாம் கூட போகணும். அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து it take care of refactoring. Okay. So let's try you write your basic CSS kind of stuff. Right? இப்போ நீ JS file எழுதும்போது இப்போ now you want to add a new JS. So we use a concept called required JS. Required JS என்ன பண்ணனும்னா வந்து ஜெனரலா வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவா whenever you write a HTML file on the base HTML you will all the JS files. Yeah, the body or the bottom line, you will include all the JS files. So here we are not going to do that. We are going to use something called required.js. Okay. And app.js is the key JS file for our application. App.js. That's the starting point. Okay, man. So the required.config required JS syntax. So if you want to add a new JavaScript file or new JavaScript library, this is how you would have. Yeah. Say for example, now the jQuery and specify jQuery. It's a handler. And எங்க இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா static -js குள்ள libs directory குள்ள jQuery 1.8.3 பாத்தீங்கன்னா js static js libs directory இதுக்குள்ள வந்து jQuery 183.3. So இங்க வந்து you don't have to specify .js. The the framework itself takes care of finding the corresponding file. If you add a .js, you will find the request going like jQuery 183.swift.js.js. The extra JS will add item. So you don't have to add it. So keep in mind that you just have to define the path. You don't have to provide the extension, the app.js. Okay. And there is something called shim. So this is where you specify your dependencies. Say for example, if now I'm adding something called this is a third-party library. So this third-party library needs jQuery. And this third-party library in turn needs jQuery. So what I do is I create a shim. Shim create one day. In the dependency and what one fun, I think for now when you guys start, you just do like what you generally used to do. You just add the JS file directly to the HTML. I'll refactoring it in. Okay, so you don't have to worry about all this complex. Right? So you do like what you used to do earlier. You just directly go to JS files and then you directly include JS files in your HTML and you have the logging for it. So I'll take care of refactoring all the stuff later. Okay. So one other thing that I wanted to tell you is we use something called PJAX. This is push state Ajax. அப்படின்னா நான் இப்போ சொன்னேன் இல்லையா base container home.html. So what we do is we just load the HTML from home.html into the base container HTML. So we just inject that. So அந்த injection எப்படி நடக்குது? It happens via the function called Ajax. Ajax தெரியும் ரெஃபரன்ஸ் பண்ணுவது. Ajaxலே வந்துட்டு something called push state. Which is push state is something that comes with HTML file. ஓகேவா? ஸோ அதாவது இப்போ நான் இதை கிளிக் பண்ணுறேன் வச்சுக்கோ. இப்போ இந்த அபவுட் அஸ் கிளிக் பண்ணுறேன்னா இட் இஸ் ஆக்சுவலி அஜாக்ஸ் ஆர் ஹேப்பனிங். பட் அஜாக்ஸில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா யூ வில் நெவர் ஹாவ் தி URL சேஞ்ச். Right? So this actually combines the browser's history object, the push state object, and Ajax. So it makes Ajax request and then it uses the push state of the browser to change the URL. So why do we need different URLs?
You can see these switches
Right. And also it will also help you with better search engine optimization. So whenever you create a new URL, it actually needs to be more meaningful. That is also something which you can keep into consideration. So in JS file add பண்ண பத்தி you just forget. I think it's kind of more professional way of handling, but you can just forget it for now. You create or you just work like how you used to work earlier. Create a direct JS file and
Who's யாரு?
EB இருக்கியா?
மிதுன்?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
You just directly add the JS file and then you add the logic. You just don't have to worry about anything. If on the JS directory the autoload.js, inject.js, pjs.js, widget.js, எல்லாமே வந்து framework file. So you don't have to worry about it. widget.js, pjs.js, autoload.js. Framework files, you don't have to worry much about it. But if you're interested, I'll just give you like an overview of what these does. But do not get confused. Okay. Let me take an example of landing.js. ஸோ இதுதான் வந்து லேண்டிங் பேஜ், ஹோம் பேஜோட ஜேஎஸ் ஃபைல். ஸோ இந்த ஹோம் பேஜில் நடக்கிற எல்லா இன்ட்ராக்ஷன்ஸோட இது எல்லாமே வந்து எப்படி ப்ரெசன்ட் இந்த லேண்டிங் ஜேஎஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ ஜேஎஸோட கான்செப்ட் என்னென்னா அப்படின்னா, suppose I directly go to about us page. Here I don't require any JS files that are required for the home page. I don't require any JS files that are required for a different page, other pages. So I just need only the JS files that I need for this particular page. Yeah. So I load the JS files on demand. So I load the JS files only when it is required. This is what I require JS files. Why do we do that? So that we don't make additional requests to all the JS files, all the CSS files, all the other files that we are not care about in a particular page. Otherwise, your response time goes high, your page rendering time takes more. It takes more time to render your page, and will cause performance impact. Right? ஏன்னா வந்து if you add எல்லா JS files, every page loadல வந்து all the requests will happen. Yeah. So to avoid that, we are using this concept called request JS. So if request JS, we follow this access syntax. We say define this identifier, and these are the dependencies in the JS file. The dependencies எப்படி define பண்றாங்க? They just use the handler. And the handler negative comes from Apple.js. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து டிஃபைன் பண்ணிப்போங்க jQuery, அதே மாதிரி jQuery UI வேணுமா, இல்லை யூ வாண்ட் சம்திங் எல்ஸ். ஸோ இந்த ஹேண்ட்லர்ஸ் தான் வந்து யூ டைரக்ட்லி pjacks. அப்படி இல்லாட்டி வந்து சப்போஸ் யூ ஹேவ் அ டிபெண்டன்சி டு சம் அதர் JS ஃபைல், வந்து யூ கேன் டைரக்ட்லி ஸ்பெசிஃபை த JS ஃபைல் ஃபார்ம். அதாவது இந்த JSக்குள்ள pjacks import பண்ணா, this will actually send a request for pjacks.js. Similarly, widget இருக்கு அப்படின்னா widget.js க்கு request போகும். So it will actually start from the app.js. App.js பார்க்கும், இந்த handlers எல்லாமே பார்க்கும். இந்த handlers இல்லாட்டி directly assume that it is a different JS file. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா I think you will find like there might be some errors whenever you do a search. Whenever you remove that. Okay. File sum இல்லை, but it's getting handled. In the rates underscore listing in the file sum கிடையாது. I don't have a definition for the file. Okay, but it actually looks for the file because I use that main HTML. So in the case this was 404 அந்த மாதிரி. இது எப்படி ஆப்ரேட் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, you define. So whenever the page loads, okay, from the landing company to home.html file, home.html there, I have specified something called data-load. Okay, well, so say data-load is equal to landing. It means that it's actually this will actually the framework and auto-load.js will take care of identifying all the data-load attributes, and it will identify, okay, it's looking for landing.js, landing.js. ஓகேவா? ஸோ அந்த landing.jsக்கு ரிக்வெஸ்ட் போகும். அது எங்கே இருக்குது? நம்மக்கிட்ட அந்த landing.js. ஸோ இது என்ன நடக்கும்? இது லோட் ஆகும்போது JS file gets loaded. But invoke the JS won't get executed until it finds this home underscore wrapper ID. Unless it finds a DOM element with this ID, this JS will not get executed. The ID is passed on the JS will execute so the ID வந்துருச்சுன்னா அப்படின்னா someone detects that okay the ID correct now you can execute this particular function அப்படின்னா it will start executing each of this project. So இங்கே வரோம் இதுக்குள்ள வரோம் ஸோ இங்கே செட்டப் பண்ணுறேன் செட்டப்குள்ளே போவோம். ஸோ இது வந்து you know about this prototype, right? JavaScript prototype. JavaScript inheritance பண்ணுறது this class dot prototype dot function. ஸோ இதுக்குள்ளே போய் உன்னோட லாஜிக் தான் எடுத்துகிட்டே வரணும். ஸோ இங்கே என்ன லாஜிக் இருக்குன்னா என்ன இந்த டைப் மெத்தட் இங்கே எதாவது இது டைப் பண்ணால் வந்து இந்த இது மிஸ் பண்ணுது இல்லையா அந்த டைப் இதோட கூட போட்டு இந்த ஜென்ரேட் பண்ணுறதோட லாஜிக் இல்லை. இதான் வந்து without currency topic so that you just forget about it. இப்போ ஒரு HTML file எழுதி JavaScript directly import பண்ணல, you can just go ahead do the same way that I'll take care of refactoring. சரியா? இன்னொரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்ன சொல்லணும்னு நினைச்சேன்னா வந்து இப்போ நீ ஒரு லிங்க் கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா ஒரு HTML லிங்க் கிரியேட் பண்ணும்போது இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இது கொடுத்துருக்கோம். Make sure that you add this attribute also. எதுக்கு அப்படின்னா whenever I click this home page thing, it will actually make the Ajax request, change the push state, and then ensure that the content gets replaced in this class. அதாவது the dot content body இருக்கு இல்லையா, this is actually a business class. இந்த part தெரியுதா? There is a bug in here. Okay, you see this getting defined 2 times. You have time here. So Ajax request அந்த வர ரெஸ்பான்ஸை வந்து it just directly appends to this div dot inner HTML வந்து the response append பண்ணிக்கணும். So that's what pjax does. So if you don't add pjax, it will actually make a full page request. Sorry? No, you can even do it via pjax, but for now you do what is easier for you to do. இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து இந்த கான்டாக்ட் வந்து I want added pjax. ஓகேவா? So this will actually make a full page for contact us. Entire page request ஆகும். Whereas about us now வந்து it will be just that only this part is getting replaced. If you want to make a form request, yeah, you can go ahead and make a full request. The reason why, because they should not be able to make a once we submit பண்ணி திருப்பி அவன் submit பண்ணா no duplicate request should happen. But இங்கே நான் எப்படி ஹேண்டில் பண்ணிருக்கேன், this is actually a form submit. This is actually a form get request. Okay, so whenever I click this button, it will make a request. But I am again doing a pjax thing. So this will actually send a request and the response will be replaced using this container. எதுக்கு அப்படி தேவைப்படும் அப்படின்னா, for example, suppose you have a link here. Okay, when you click a link, you want only this part to get request. You specify this ID. I'm just saying for example. So நீ என்ன பண்ணுவ pjax கொடுத்துட்டு you just have to specify this ID. in the column you're writing, you can hyphen secondary put data hyphen pjack is equal to hash. If it's a class, you just say dot constant hyphen secondary. If it's ID, you specify hash. So என்ன பண்ணோம், when you click on that, whatever hash response பண்ணிட்டு, you just replace this particular content and it will not affect. That is the basic thing.
If it is a pjack request, renders only the partial. If it is a whole page request, it renders with the full.
Yes. I mean, if it's too confusing, you forget about it. Just do like what you've been doing over the past 2 years. Normally, every HTML function is going to will take care of I mean, I just gave you, told it, just you might probably you might find it interesting or you might maybe you might use it later also.
Actually, the doubt is because once you click pjack, the framework is supposed to render the whole page, right? So the inner class should have the entire page again in code.
So my click பண்றேன், you get a request for you, right? So what we are doing is we are doing back-end rendering of the HTML page. That is, it's not like Ajax coming, Ajax loading it here. What we do is we do it, it's an Ajax segment that is getting sent. You see this, right? This is actually Ajax segment that is getting sent, right? HTML HTTP request, which means it's an Ajax segment, right? So it's an Ajax request that is getting sent, and what it returns is /login. So when this goes, it actually returns the content of login.html or login.html. So this content gets returned. Okay, and the framework takes care of injecting this content into the base container. Okay, well,
Okay.
so it talks about the talks about it talks about how to add a new to have the traffic you are on from yeah. So அது எல்லாமே வந்து plays right now. On the init.c இதில் வந்து காமிச்சேன் இல்லையா session factory அப்படின்ட்டு. So this will take care of adding something called session in your request object. So on the back end, நீங்கள் வந்து சும்மா request dot session அப்படின்னு press பண்ணாவே it will show up the session assigned to that particular thing. So you can just refer to this database and point to so the setting is all in place. So it will actually add the session details to the request object. The request dot session கொடுத்தாலே வர automatically வந்துடும். Request dot session கொடுத்தாலே you get the session object. I think the documentation is also very decent. If you have any doubts, you just search for pyramid Python on the what you need. That will actually give you something related to the backend. And for the front end, bootstrap jQuery is predominantly used. So you can search your corresponding forum. Okay, ma'am. See, there are here. Further development, they are going to take Python to yeah.
சிபிஎஸ்சியில் சொன்னல பசங்களா வாட்ஸ் ஆ ம் ஸோ கைஸ் வாட்ஸ் த இது have you heard anything or deciding mm-hmm. பரவாயில்ல best guys so have you got a full walkthrough understanding etc now you please have to explain individually to our friends Shakti and Mithun sorry okay now second thing where do you guys stand what now I think the time is past for understanding setting up etc now I think we can look forward to having actual how shall I say results coming from this because you'll also be keen to actually develop it vis-a-vis just talking about it etc so how far have you guys got what is your plan of action etc how are you going to coordinate amongst yourselves
First page is done.
yeah I know first page is done Ajay did it thanks man